Coming at you from Scratch Wolf Studio. It's that time again to rage across the internet. Your very favorite Werewolf the Apocalypse podcast. I'm your host, Porter. To my left, as always, producer Danny Tyson.
Hey, everybody.
And once again, sitting at the table with us, we have Tommy the Dixon.
How's it?
How's it going, Ghost?
It's going good.
You call him Ghost anyway.
Well, I mean...
I call a lot of people a lot of things, Danny.
Yeah.
It's a little project you're working on right now with the Sly, aren't you?
Yep.
Oh, that'll be fun.
Someone's making a little montage of all his different nicknames.
It was suggested as a joke. I laughed really hard and said, fuck it, I'm going to do it.
It's going to turn into like a 3-hour episode.
Oh, yeah.
No way.
That, right?
No way. It's going to be 20
Listen
seconds.
to it at 2x speed.
Every week you don't finish it, it gets longer.
Yeah, that's the problem, though.
Yep.
It's going to turn into a 6-hour project, but it's going to end up only being like 20 minutes.
You say that, but I think you're going to get far enough behind.
I don't even think it'd be 20 minutes.
I think
it's going to be a half hour.
I doubt
at
it.
least.
Oh, by the time I'm finished with it, maybe.
Yeah.
Give it like the 10 seconds of every episode.
It's almost 70 episodes
Yeah, I know, but like...
at 10 seconds a pop.
That's if it was 10 seconds. And then, not only that, but like the first, handful, I wasn't even in. There was a good chunk of them I'm not even there.
There's a couple you're not there for.
Not many.
No.
Not as many as me.
No.
More than,
Everybody else except you?
I was going to say, what's her name? No more than Jessica.
I mean, well...
It was one recording.
I know, right?
One
session.
One session.
A lot of episodes in one session.
Well, they were 30 minutes.
Yeah, they were really short episodes, and it still took us... It was an all-day thing. Like, I couldn't stay there for that long. I couldn't even make the last one.
Well, if I remember, we recorded those. Look at some inside baseball shit right from Jump Street.
Shocking, right?
We did it. I think we did it on like a weekday. Like it was after work.
Saturday.
I don't know that that's true.
It was
But
Saturday.
we had
it was an
a
all-day
bunch of-
thing, and my wife was pissed. Little did she know this would happen.
Right?
It would become an all-day thing every time.
Whoops.
I can say that because I know she's not listening.
It's true.
She could be.
She's not.
Well, she said she would, and she hasn't. She downloaded them all and was ready to listen, and I think she's got through like 3. I was like, just skip the first 5. Please.
Oh, man.
Everybody else, skip the first 5.
They're already here.
True. And hey, you know what? If it's your first time here, welcome. If it's not,
Yeah.
welcome back.
Skip the first 5.
If it's your first show, only like half of them start out this meandering.
Is it half?
Well, yeah, because we usually are on track for about 30 seconds, then we get into, quote, the business, and then it goes off the rails. But we just started off the rails.
Oh, perfect.
So now we got to find those rails. They're over there somewhere.
We got to convert like to hover or something. I don't know.
We need that new technology.
Yeah.
So we just...
Where we're going, there are no roads.
I was gonna say, so we just jump the track and hit the business?
You just jump the shark. Let's hit the business, though.
You know, even better then. Here's some business. Hit our website. On the website's forums. There's some cool shit in the forums. Then there's the link to the Discord. The Discord. On Discord, you got the discount code for 10% off first time use on their store.
Yep.
Some cool shit in the store. Check back weekly because there's always stuff there. And then hit us on Patreon where we have first tier of coming to hang out with us all the time. Movie nights every month. Everyone having a good time. It's always fun. Some questionable and or shitty movies. Possible drinking games. Completely optional.
Possible. There's always a drinking game.
Tier 2, you get the post-mortems. Plus the gifts from Tier 1. Post-mortems, which we just recorded. And holy shit, those were so much fun.
There.
Hope you guys are liking those.
Yeah, the postmortem is that we go through all of the games that these two have played under me as a storyteller, which is all of their games. We dissect them. We go over what happened. We dissect them, from a storyteller's angle, from a player's angle. Just a really nice look back, retrospective kind of look at it in dissection.
The retrospect part's really cool.
It's really useful. It's a lot of, or hopefully, we've been told it's very useful.
Yes.
It's a lot of fun. It shows you what we can do or what we have done, gives you tips. You don't give it a name. It's what you make of it. But it's at least an hour extra. It's like an extra episode a month.
And then Tier 3,
Yes.
NPC of the Month Club. Handwritten personal entry.
Typed. I don't handwrite them.
Okay.
His hand would fall off.
Hand-typed personal entry, completely rewritten and redone for the best version possible of one of your NPCs.
Yep, different one every month from my personal Bible. And yeah, you're right. I would say I remaster them.
Yes.
Because so it's not just a copy-paste job.
Remaster is a good way to put it, because...
Yeah, got it, because you got to be able to take them at different angles
Right.
for what people are going to use them for.
And through my different games, I do that. You know, sometimes they're in different positions in their careers or their lives or whatever. So I take what I consider the definitive version of each character and build that new entry every month. And it's for you guys to do what you will. I mean, you know, they're not statted because I don't know where you're going to put them or when you're going to put them. It's who this person is. You know, and you guys have read those, so I mean, you could vouch for them better than I can because I'm the guy who wrote them, so the fuck should I be talking about it?
Oh, no, those are great.
God, we love them every time.
Yeah, they're so much fun. Like, I'm glad we get to read them before the patrons do. I mean, yeah, it's more of like, hey, did I make any dumb mistakes?
That's exactly what it is.
But, like, at the same time, I was like, yes, I get to feel like a patron for a second.
Well, you can always donate too, Danny. Anyone
I do.
can donate. And remember that, you know, like Danny mentioned, that signing up the later tier gives you get everything. You sign up at the top tier, you get everything. It's a great way to support us, to keep things running. And we love so much that so many of you have. And for the rest of you, I think now is the time to follow the lead
Yes.
of others.
Please,
Don't think for yourselves. Do what the Patreons do.
If they would jump off a bridge, would you jump with them? I hope so.
Is the Patreons down at the bottom of that bridge?
Exactly. Where's Charybdis?
Oh, yeah, follow him.
No, don't follow. Oh, whoa.
Yeah, follow him.
No.
Go ahead.
So, yeah, there's business. Look at it. Short, sweet, to the point.
You know, he was on that.
He was.
Yeah,
You forgot one thing.
What did I forget?
Where do we find all this?
I said the website was first.
Right, but you didn't give the website URL.
Oh my god, you really need the URL by now?
Hey, some people might. They're brand new if they're just listening.
Or the show notes. Copy and paste it.
Wow.
RageAcrossTheInternet.com.
Oh, fuck.
There you go. That was so hard to do.
And hey, if you've got feedback for us, yeah, you can do it in the Discord. But you have questions or feedback or anything, you can always hit us up on our email, and that's rageacrosspodcast@gmail.com. It's a different thing.
Yes, that's the
Or
email.
message me on the Twitter if you're there.
Yep, that's Tom's thing. Hit me up on Facebook. I will do my best.
Email's better, though.
Email's the best.
Email is the best way.
We're always looking for that feedback. You know, something you want to hear, something you don't like hearing. Tell us.
Yeah.
If it's that important, we'll fix it. If it's not, then thank you for telling us anyway.
You know, feedback's nice.
It'd be
The
nice
show
to
runs
know.
on feedback. I mean,
And patrons.
yeah, we don't know if we're doing a good job unless you guys tell us.
But hey, we do have fun.
Oh, God, this is so much fun.
And, you know, that's,
An all-day thing.
let's do that. Let's move into the show.
Oh, we have a
Part
show?
of
I
the
thought we were
show.
just messing around on the tracks and off the tracks and
Oh, we did that
around
too.
the tracks.
There's Blood on the Tracks. That's a good album. Blood on the Tracks.
Hey, nice.
It's true.
What's on the docket anyway?
That's not an album.
Okay.
Today we're talking Theurges.
Theurges.
We are talking Theurge School, if you will.
Yeah.
Once
Taking us to Theurge school.
yeah, classes in the session, bitch.
Get your notebooks out.
Yeah, I think
There'll
that's
be
gonna
a test at the end.
Oh.
Something about Hot for Teacher.
Oh, whoa.
Good song.
It is a good song.
I mean,
No smoking in the boys' room. There's not a whole lot of school-related songs.
school's
that we
out
can
for
reference.
summer.
Rock and Roll High
Just a
School.
bill.
You did it.
I
You
had
son
to.
of a-
Conjunction Junction is near the school. It's close enough.
Good lord. Oh, I tried, guys.
This is
I
what
really
we do.
did.
This
Hey.
is what we
A little
do.
bit of Schoolhouse Rock. Come on.
I tried.
369. 15, 18.
Oh, we almost got him.
Almost did. Almost did. All right. So, no, once upon a time, when you guys were starting, you know, I mean, it was you two, and it was Jessica who
Correct.
played Evelyn, and then,
Willow blooms in the moonlight.
thank you, Willow Blooms in Moonlight. Both characters were Theurges.
Yep.
And it was something she was interested in, but she had trouble just doing the work, bottom line. Just doing the research.
It's a lot of work. It's probably the most important of all the auspices.
I agree.
It's the most important research-wise, too.
Yeah. Because like, you can do it no matter what, but you could do it poorly.
And that's not good for you. It's not good for the rest of your group.
Yeah.
It's not good for your storyteller.
You know, is being a bad Theurge is a great way to make extra work for your storyteller and the rest of your group.
Uh-huh.
You offend the right spirit, and the mission that was so important for the cairn now gets waylaid by 3 chapters because you have to make amends to Bear because I don't know what you did, but you shouldn't have.
Oh no, Bear's gonna be mad. Bear's mad at you for something stupid you did. Now you're gonna make amends to Bear. It's just gonna take way too long.
He was trying to get something out.
I don't know what to
He
do.
lost his thought.
That was the least sincere I've ever heard you in my life.
I doubt it.
Oh no, Bear's mad at you, and it's going to take a while.
Oh.
This is serious, guys.
Okay, anyway, I tried. It didn't work. Please fix it.
We love you, buddy.
Okay.
All right. So, anyway, when that was happening, she would come over and we would do what was called Theurge School, which would be like a series of question and answers and trying to explain to her, trying to help her get it down in a world where you don't have time to sit down for X amount of hours and do the research.
Yeah, sit there, try and take notes through all the books, and it might just help hearing it from somebody else's perspective.
Sure. And again, this is something that will be good for new Theurges. It'll be good for current Theurges. Maybe you want to step up their game. For storytellers, to give them ideas and new perspectives on how to handle spirits in ways that maybe they hadn't before. That's the idea. So we're doing that now. We did our auspice series way back when.
Yeah,
we actually finished that series. Like in a timely fashion, too.
I mean...
We did pretty good on that.
We might have even done it before...
Kind of.
I think we did it before 30 episodes.
Oh, wow. We really did that in timely fashion.
Now, relatively speaking, like next to the Tribal series, we were amazing with the auspice series.
I could be wrong. Let's say it was way before 50.
Oh, for sure. I mean, I did Ragabash at 7.
And that was the start.
And that was my first ever episode.
And that was the first auspice.
Nice.
But there's the thing, is, we did that, and it was pretty basic look.
Yeah, it was overview of everything.
Yeah, so we're going to talk about logistics. We're going to talk about what it means to be a Theurge, to play a Theurge, to storytell a Theurge, all that shit. And we're going to look at that with all the auspices.
I was about to say, look out. All auspices are getting this.
Yep.
Yeah, so next will be...
Auspice School.
Why not?
Sure. Auspice School.
They're going to have their own names.
We're going to figure it out.
Auspice School.
For now, it's auspice school. We'll
Theurge
fluctuate.
School sounds better.
Yeah, Theurge School does sound better.
Yeah, but what would be Aharon School?
That right there.
Fight Club.
Fight Club. Oh, perfect. Bam. Got it.
What?
Nicely done. I'm not even going to ask.
Are you in a band?
I was going to say Glee Club, but I like that better.
All right, well, we got that going.
Then, already, the debate team.
Okay.
I don't even have to say which auspice. It's that much better.
And then playing hooky for Ragabash.
No, I got it immediately. Trying to hold back the laugh. Just let it go, man.
We just did it. We just named those.
All right, well, look forward to those guys.
Yeah, hopefully. Well, let's get started with Theurge School. Theurge 101. Theurge classing. Classes in session. What's up, bitches? What are we doing?
All right, basic one. What's a Theurge?
Well,
we did that already.
It's
a refresher.
No, it's fine. It's fine. The Theurge, obviously, it's the Crescent Moon. They are the shamans of the Gar Nation. They're the ones who keep the pact with the spirits. They're the closest to the spirits. They're the ones who, in terms of auspice, should know the Umbra the best. You have to remember the...
God, you have to learn the Umbra? That is a very vast place.
Well, you certainly should know, because where else are you going to find your spirits?
It's fair.
Someone's got to know this shit.
Oh, I know, but I'm just saying, that's a lot of knowledge.
It's also why...
Just get out what you're trying to say. We'll get you.
It's also why the three of us are all saying that Theurge is the most important.
Well, it really is.
Because of how much that research consists of and how deep you have to dive to be good at your job.
Mm-hmm. Well, the thing there, you think about it, the Theurge is, they're facilitating you learning gifts because you learn your gifts from spirits.
Right.
All right?
Especially if you're going to role play that out. Yeah, you need a Theurge.
You want a fetish?
You need a Theurge.
If you're going to make one, you certainly do.
Yeah.
And that's the thing,
how you can convince a spirit to go in there without a Theurge if you can't speak to a spirit.
Right? And again, making them. How cool is that?
Uh-huh.
That's a thing they can do. I mean, okay, anyone who knows the right gifts can... Fine, shut up.
Yeah, but the role-playing part of it's the cooler part.
Right. You can petition an elder to get the fine, or you can be clever and make up your own thing. You can go, well, what happens if you put this spirit in this item?
Yeah, go back to our Fetish and Talons episodes. We actually came up with a lot of good little quirks on how to make little special fetishes.
And it's fun to do, but here's the thing. If you don't know how to talk to a spirit, you're fucked.
Yep.
Yeah,
and I don't mean that
basic thing that is so absolutely necessary.
Right, and I don't mean that just in terms of the gift. Okay.
Uh-huh.
I mean, yeah, you need spirit speech, And then there's the question that says, or do you? In my mind, it's you need spirit speech to talk to any type of spirit that couldn't innately speak a language.
So fire spirit.
Sure, a fire spirit. The spirit of a sparrow or a squirrel.
Mm-hmm.
Those don't speak English or
German or they don't speak a human language.
So how are you supposed to talk to them?
Right, and that's where I take it, is that with spirit speech, because it's a little vague.
I think it's vague on purpose. It gives more leeway to the storytellers, maybe.
I don't know, I suppose. There's a lot of gifts that are vague on purpose. You look at Mother's Touch, and this is a quick digression, but when you read the power that gift is like the most powerful gift of all time.
And it's such a basic, it's a level 1.
It's a level 1 gift, but there's no ceiling on what that cures.
That's true.
You get shot in the face, I use Mother's Touch on you, and as long as you're not dead, you're okay. It cleared up that cold sore, the herpes down there is gone, your blood work's going to come in pure, that hangnail's fixed, all because of a good roll on Mother's Touch.
And you had low rage,
Yeah.
It's so true, though.
And
how about grandmother's touch? It's kind of worded the same way, too.
It's the same gift, except you can use it on yourself as well.
So, yeah, that's another one. I got shot in the face, but I grandmother's touched myself. I'm good.
I want you to love me.
Bad touch.
Grandmother's touched myself. I'm going to save that as a clip.
That's fine. You do what you got to do. So as this third school, though, what would you recommend them picking up the Umbra book?
Well, I think you kind of have to.
Right.
Even without Theurge school, as a Theurge, you have to.
Umbra 20, and I'm going to specifically say Umbra 20, because all the Umbra books talk about the Umbra, obviously. Welcome to the show.
Thanks for listening to the podcast.
Right. They talk about the Near Realms, they talk about the Penumbra, they talk a bit about the Deep and the Dark, and the Super Far and the Near Far, and the Muppet Umbra and the Null Zones, and all of the extra things.
Can make that a song.
We were doing Schoolhouse Rock a bit ago. Don't mess with me.
Save it for the Galliard episode.
There you go. I'm going to wait for it.
All right.
I'm expecting the things of you now. You have all those things, right? However, in Umbra 20, I feel that they go a bit above and beyond in terms of talking about dealing with spirits, ways that you look at dealing with spirits, ways that spirits deal with you. They talk about the kami, which is not right now, but those are a special type of spirit, allied with Gaia.
So are you saying they go too specific?
No, I think they went above and beyond. They did a great job.
Okay.
They cover things that some of these other books don't, or if they do, just a fraction of the way that Umbra 20 does. Umbra 20 is one of those books that, replace that fucking book. You need Umbra 20. I don't care what your name is.
That's fair.
Any other books you think you'd recommend for a beginning Theurge, like Axis Mundi or something?
Axis Mundi might be a little more advanced.
Right.
You for sure need it.
For sure need that.
It's a really useful book.
Especially because all the spirits in it. It really flushes them all out.
Well, it does, and then it talks about things that I definitely want to get into in this episode, actually, is like different spiritual material correspondence.
Oh, that's big for you. That's very big for you.
Yeah. Like, I'm at half-mast just talking about it right now.
Oh boy.
Gross.
You guys put a hat on it. I just mentioned it.
I'm not putting a hat on
it. No, I remember specifically your story with Sekhmet. And again, these were really old episodes, but your story with Sekhmet, how the pack was arguing and trying to discuss on a certain path to take on what to do, all the while Sekhmet, who is the alpha of that pack,
and a Theurge,
and a Theurge, decided to make a pyramid of beer bottles while everyone else is arguing. And it was all just to, as an offering for a glass elemental, blow out all the windows of this high-rise building and make that glass elemental spirit happy, because don't you want all the people to enjoy your splendor? So have thousands of little pieces of you instead of one big piece. So something along those lines.
It was pretty close, because and it's interesting you brought up the multiple parts and something like that. Mm-hmm. Okay, and I don't even know you realized what you did, but you covered a lot of shit in a sentence or two.
Well, that's like me. That's why I was saying how important it was to you specifically, and I know this just knowing you, how important that material correspondence is.
Well, but I want to bring this back a second, okay? Because let's look at what you talked about. Part one, Sekhmet is building this material correspondence, this material offering to the spirit.
So you said essentially do this with every spirit that you want to talk to.
Something along the lines of.
If you have time, and it does vary based on spirit, I guess at the bare bones of that, you say you want to have your shit in line.
For sure.
Know what you're talking to, know how you want to deal with it, have an idea at least. But in that situation, right, he makes a pyramid.
I like it.
Yeah. Takes the glass bottles, makes a little pyramid.
Give him a little shrine.
Yeah. And then he summons the spirit.
Yeah, look what I did for you.
Right. I mean, you went over it really quickly.
Yeah.
But I want to break down the different things that happened there.
Okay.
Because you had step one, you had your prep work. That was your pyramid.
Offering.
Your offering. Which here corresponds, these are bottles. He's going to like that. You call the element, you summon the spirit.
And how would you do that?
Well, there's a rite of summoning.
Okay.
Yeah, there are rights for it, and...
But specifically, though, is there just because you want this specific spirit, you concentrate on it, or...
Well, and that's the thing, is some of the rites can be vague at times, as they're depicted in the book. And at that point, you call it out.
Okay.
You call it out by name. True name, if you have it, holy shit, forget about it. But that's a bigger deal.
I was going to say there's
power in that shit.
Yeah, if they have their own name, it's a bigger...
Yeah, you're dealing with a bigger spirit. Good luck.
Right. Something's true name, but we're right now we're just talking. We're not there yet.
We're still on the basics.
That's some higher level shit.
We'll get there.
That's not first year shit. Now you called the spirit. The spirit's here. Now it's negotiation.
In which you already kind of have a leg up because look at all the stuff I did for you.
Hopefully your offering will help.
Will appease it.
Yeah, will help move that along. Yeah, absolutely. That's the goal. But now you got to convince it. You got to and what you need it to do is gonna. I mean, it matters
very much.
To go, hey Tom, you got a quarter?
No, I do. Sure.
But it's not a big ask. If you had a quarter, you'd give me a quarter.
Yeah.
Danny, I need to borrow your car for the weekend. I'm going to a demolition derby. I'm participating.
Oh, okay.
That's a nice guy right there.
I just said, okay, you're going. That doesn't mean you're taking my car with you.
Oh, well, I heard the okay.
No, I heard the yes, too. Shit.
Sure, yeah. Again, I said okay, but that doesn't mean you're taking the car with you.
Well, there you go. But you see the difference in the ask, though, is what I'm doing here.
Yeah.
Quarter's not a problem. Oh, you want to trash my car for fun and perhaps profit? Nah.
Perhaps profit.
You ain't going to see any of it.
He'd profit. Insurance claim.
There you go. Yeah, once he reports it's stolen.
Exactly.
But, jokes aside, you see, the ask matters. And how you go about the ask matters.
I was about to ring into that because there's been a few times where you've portrayed Owl with us, and if you don't talk right to Owl...
Owl will reject your ass.
He rejects you real quick, or start again, too many words.
Yep. And we're just rejecting you.
Yeah.
Too many words. Start over.
Yeah. You've done that quite a bit.
Well, and that came from, I think it was Storyteller's Guide 3. They gave an example of how to play Owl, and I loved it. I thought that was perfect. I'd love to take full credit for that. That was the too many words start over thing.
So maybe that's another one to keep on the list. Story Guides 3.
If you're not a storyteller.
No, but if it's giving you ideas how to portray it, maybe it's also giving...
But if I'm the player, I'm not portraying the spirits. I'm talking to the spirits.
But it gives you the help on how to talk.
I hear what you guys are doing. I just believe in that line between church and state there. Because there are plenty of people who will read the shit out of that book and think that they can use all of that fun storyteller knowledge in game.
Okay.
And you can't use any of that shit in game.
That's fair.
Because you're a player, not a storyteller.
That's right. Your character doesn't know any of that shit.
That's fair. Maybe we shouldn't have even brought it up.
Well, it's why when you guys do, I tend to lean away from it.
Yeah.
That's fine. I mean, it is a good book, though.
No, it totally is. And I'm not sure that came from that book, but I feel pretty strongly, 70%. Either way, it came from a book, and I got the idea. But then, the body language I put in.
Oh, very much.
And I love the...
You punch your shoulders, you push your neck forward.
Yep.
Your head's down.
And I moved to the back behind my chair.
Yep, and then you...
So it's like I've removed my body.
Chair,
yeah. And then it's sharp.
It's sharp and to the point.
Yep. My eyes are poked open wide. My head's constantly moving to wherever the sound is coming from. And my speech is sharp. It's to the point.
Yeah.
He's doing your portrayal of Owl's really good.
And every now and then I get to go, who?
Which gets me going.
but I don't do it. See, I don't make a joke out of it.
No.
But you want those short, biting sentences out of them.
So with the glass elemental, how did that happen? Because I don't know how you'd portray a glass elemental.
Well, that's perfectly fair. And I mean, at the time I was playing.
Mm-hmm.
So I didn't get to do that.
But how did you speak to it?
Well, I, very properly, when you deal with a spirit and you're unsure.
I was going to say, if you don't know, maybe just reverence.
Well, that can work. I mean, kissing something's ass can work to a point. But my suggestion has always been, when you're coming into contact with a spirit that you are not familiar with, you need to consider the attributes that we as human beings attached to whatever concept or thing that we're talking to. You think of glass, I think of mirrors. This is me, personally.
Okay.
I think of mirrors, which are subject to vanity. So I'm going to attribute vanity to this spirit. This is a vain spirit.
Holy shit, I didn't think about
Yeah, I didn't go to that at all.
Well, where did you guys go?
With glass, I was thinking sand.
Okay.
And
That's
then
one of the elements in it, but yes.
Yeah, it's something in it.
No, yeah.
was when lightning or when glass or sand is heated up. So that's how I think of it. But I like what you did.
Well, you know,
way better.
That's kind of where I'm talking. You know, how do we do this as humans?
Yeah.
Is we assign attributes to things that
It's to rationalize it for us.
that don't exist inertly in the thing. Give personalities to our cars.
Yeah, we do.
We name our cars.
We name our cars.
So weird.
But
We are weird
But you
people.
think it's just people.
Yeah, that's why I said we were
just
weird people.
People do that. So you want to think in terms of that. Let's break this down a little easier for you.
Okay.
All right. When I say fire, tell me what a fire spirit's like. Using that same method.
Well, see, you have several different options there.
Yeah, walk us through it. Both of you. Like, you take one, Tom take one. Fuck it.
Okay. Well, at least with me, it could be warm, comforting, like soothing, even.
I was going more angry and aggressive.
Again, that's what I mean. That's the purpose, or that's my point there.
And that's excellent.
But it depends on the element, how strong that elemental is you summoned.
It depends on that.
Because if it is just a little flame, I would think of it as warm, soothing. But if it's a bigger deal, aggressive, it wants to just destroy, or consume, I should say. Because it wants to consume.
Well, see, the first thing I thought of was like a campfire.
Sure. It grants warmth and light and nurtures and cooks your food.
Yeah, and then I can sit back and just stare at it, and it's
peaceful.
and relaxing.
And then we go to Tom, and it's destructive and will fuck you up in ruined states, in lives, and consumes everything in its path, and you cannot control this shit.
Not at all.
It just happens to you. And both are correct.
Yes.
That's the thing. Both are correct.
Yeah, so which one do you do? And I guess
maybe that depends on your roles. Maybe that also depends on what you're calling.
And what you're calling it to do.
Well, it doesn't know what you want it to do. You know,
but
it doesn't
if you know what
you're
you're trying to do, I mean, then you could be
you can't go, but a nice one.
Well, no, but
I summoned the great fire elementals, but like a nice one.
That's fair. You
like
don't know
one who's not 100% a dick.
Yeah, you don't know who's going to answer the call. That's fair.
Just like 25% dick. Got
it.
But saying, I want that one on a clip.
Don't count on that.
We can make it happen.
I can make it happen, and I won't.
We can do it too. The computer's right there.
I won't teach you how to do it.
It's going to be a T-shirt now.
Oh,
just 25% dick?
No, I summon the great fire spirit, but like a good one. It's not 100% a dick.
Okay, that's a lot on a T-shirt.
It'd be 25%.
Come on, they fit dots on a T-shirt.
Anyway,
sorry,
but no, both answers are correct. If it's, you got to remember the spirit hierarchy too. You know, like a gaffling is like the animal tier, and I don't mean the animal spirits. I mean the level of intelligence and agency that animals have to us.
That's where I was going with, or I figured you were going with it. It's the amount of what they know compared to what we know, and that overlap in between the two.
You know, yeah, you're not going to you're not going to go outside right now to one of those creepy squirrels in my courtyard and have a conversation.
No, probably not.
No, you're not going to do it with my neighbors either, but you could theoretically.
I mean, maybe juggle some acorns or something.
Well, I don't know this man anymore.
Wouldn't even want to talk. Well, what could a squirrel offer for help aside from maybe stealthily getting information?
Well, it could do. You could ask it to do scout work. You could ask it if it's seen something. You could ask it maybe if there's a gift or two out there that could teach you.
Oh, fair. Okay.
You know,
I was thinking,
they hoard things. They spy on shit. They run around all over the place.
Use them as distraction.
Possible as well.
Run out in front of this car.
Show some imagination.
That's just mean.
Well, in hopes that the car would swerve.
Most people don't.
First of all, a spirit probably isn't going to run into a car in the penumbra.
Touche.
But I want to go back to the fire for a second.
Okay.
I think this is a solid example to work from as a base, because again, you guys just both pulled different aspects of fire.
Yeah.
A fire gaffling will be, because it's, and I hate to use it, it's dumber. It has a lower understanding, a lower personal agency.
We actually have a good story about that. Was not when Willow first tried to summon one.
I don't remember that.
Sept of the Shell.
Oh, that was more recently. But yeah, she didn't fuck that up. She did.
She couldn't talk to it at first. Remember?
No.
She struggled talking to it. She was using too many words. Oh.
She could talk to it, but she wasn't talking to it on its level.
On its level, right?
Yes.
I figured that's where you were going with that.
I was eventually.
Okay.
I'm still on the personality.
Okay. You just jumped a little too hard.
Yeah, you're a step ahead. You're fine.
We'll get there.
Maybe, but you get a Jagling, and I can remember the Jagling. The variance in between that is vast. A Jagling can be that barely step up from a Gaffling, all the way under to a step under Grandfather fucking Thunder.
I was gonna say, but yeah.
Oh wow, really?
Yeah, the power scale on Jaglings is all it's huge.
It's huge.
Maybe they should throw another power scale in there.
You would think, and I use terms like greater and lesser.
That helps.
Which I don't think are canon, but I do it because, are you kidding?
Right. Yeah, lesser Gaffling, lesser Jaffling.
Jagling. You're welcome.
Lots of lings, man. It's okay.
Lings.
Ling.
Yum.
So, like, a Jagling is going to have more personality. It's going to be more likely to fluctuate on that emotional scale and that personality scale. To where a Gaffling will be probably more malleable and easier to control or to talk to like that. Mm-hmm. Because, frankly, it's dumber, but it also can do less for you. So you got to factor that in too. Now, to move forward with in terms of talking, I mean, it's a good point, Tom, because you have to talk to a spirit on its level. You cannot assume, regardless of, when you get up there, you can talk to fucking Fenris carefully.
Good luck.
But
you're going to lose something out of that.
That was not a great example.
No.
But
even worse would be Gaia.
You go up to Grandfather Thunder.
It's Stag.
Or Stag, yeah.
It's someone a little...
Yeah, that's a little
more affable.
Yeah, that can happen more than the two we just mentioned.
You don't want to talk to the other two because they're only there because they want to talk to you, and that's not going to go well. But no, Stag, that's a totem. That's a different thing. Mm-hmm. We're talking about your basic spirits.
Yeah, not the tribal stag, not the capital S.
A stag.
A stag
is one thing. Stag is another thing. Capital S. It's good.
Capital D and A. It's all caps.
No, they're ruining it with all caps because then it takes away from that greater and lesser part.
Well, maybe you had caps lock on, and so the small one means the capital one because you didn't realize it was on. What are we talking about?
I don't know.
You let me get waylaid, and this is what happens. That's fine.
It's not going to hurt anything.
Talking to them on that level
is that a spirit, by and large, is not going to understand the world in the context that you do. You talk to an ancestor spirit. You get better luck, but also, how old is his ancestor spirit?
Oh, right. Yeah, it could be a couple hundred years old back, and they're on, like, Old English.
It's like, hey,
like that.
I gotta track this Buick. Buick?
I guess that all depends on how specific you wanted to summon them, right? Because if you're looking for someone specific, it's probably a higher difficulty as far as ancestors go and stuff.
Certainly, but we're using just a base example right now.
Okay.
The spirit of a city father is going to be more helpful dealing with the city than that old oak tree.
It'd be kind of hard to talk to that old oak tree. He'd be very slow talking.
Okay.
Be very almost falling asleep kind of thing is what I'm thinking.
I like that.
Or still sleeping.
Yeah, very hard to keep him awake. Just keep his intent, keep him content with how you're talking to him. That'd be hard to talk to.
It would probably be knowledgeable, but from a very specific stance.
That only within that range of what he can see, he'd know everything about.
Well, you could probably argue the length of his roots too. However,
yeah,
but roots connect.
Yes, they can.
Jesus.
So suddenly
his knowledge is very vast compared to what you think.
At least it can be.
Right.
Provided you have talked to him correctly, you have treated him right, you have made a correct offering should you need one. Or sweeten the pot on the fly if he's going to be stubborn, and he's probably going to be
very stubborn. Yes.
That old
Especially if he's a very old oak, he will be very stubborn, so I hope you have lots of water to give him.
Matter of fact... You're not going to get a lot of chit-chat out of that guy, are you?
No. That's what I'm saying. He'd be slow and sleepy.
Maybe slow and sleepy, but matter of fact. Mm-hmm. He's not going to mince words.
Straight to the point.
He doesn't understand your jokes or your references. He doesn't find them funny. And he's not going to hand any out among his own self.
It's true.
Yeah. I don't have anything to say for that, because they're right. It's funny
still
to think
hoping
about.
you'd go back and reference the Gaffling story with Willow, because it's a what not to do.
I swear to Christ, I don't remember
You
it.
don't remember it at all?
I don't remember it at all.
All right,
Give
so
us
we
a-
needed to build a campfire. We wanted to start a fire.
I remember
so
that
we had
part.
asked, I think it was either me or Danny, I can't remember. We had asked her to summon a fire elemental. We had taken bark off of a tree, laid it out. Here's your offering. Can you summon a fire elemental? The way she had worded it when she was talking to him, she was using too much. It got confused.
And it just, oh yeah, that's right. I remember it was just slowly sitting there burning. Like, yeah, thanks.
Well, after she had eventually said, I think it was either Porter corrected her, or somebody corrected her, and said, I've made you this offering for you to consume. Consume was the big word. Like, she kept using words that it did not know.
Okay, I
just remember the key word that she used was consume. I've laid you an offering to consume, and then he laid down in it and went, thank you.
Makes sense now.
And then we had a fire.
Remembering.
I just remember that, but I can't remember exactly what she was saying, but at first she was
wouldn't
using
use the word consume.
She didn't use any words that it knew.
And that's the thing, too, is that can be such a pain in the ass.
Like,
Yeah.
it doesn't know that it's fire, and I think she was saying, can you make me a fire? Something along those
Oh,
lines.
God. To which point, what it thinks you want is to be it.
Yeah. It was confused. I remember she was confusing the hell out of it.
I'm hearing you
It's like
say
the
that, and I go,
ultimate dad joke.
so you want me to make you like me?
I think along the lines it was that, and you had to stop her.
So it was the ultimate dad joke.
That's
Make
you
me a
saying,
fire.
You're a fire.
You're a fire.
But, I mean, you're doing it that way, but I guess, sure, not through intent, but it's literal.
Very.
Fire doesn't understand your fucking wisecracks.
That's why I'm trying to key in on it. Make sure
Yeah.
you're speaking to it to the level that it knows.
Now, a city raccoon might be hip to what you're throwing down.
Notice how I use those words too.
Yeah.
Well, there's different raccoons. So
Yes,
yeah,
there are.
City raccoon would be completely different than a wild in the woods one.
Yep. You know, you go down.
Not the
No, I know what you're talking about.
not the raccoon that we know.
Right, not raccoon.
Right.
We're not talking
Capital
about
R.
totems at all. There's no capital letters in this show. Don't put any caps in the title.
Perfect.
I think so. I like that.
Okay. I gotta write that down.
All right. Keep this in too.
No, absolutely.
Okay. But yes, the context of which you talk to a spirit is extremely important because it doesn't understand.
Mm-hmm.
A city father, we talk about the city father of Detroit. I don't know if you saw it. I wrote a whiz-bang fucking description of the city father of Detroit in Discord a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
Just off the top of my head.
No, it was awesome.
I missed that.
Yes, you did.
It was pretty good. It had like...
I mistaked it for the statue. What's that statue?
I forget the name of it. I'm doing the pose.
I know exactly what statue.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they put the jerseys on
jerseys.
it,
Oh, yeah.
different, yeah. And because I only read like a couple sentences of it real quick, so I had mistaked it for that statue, and I popped that picture in there, and he goes, no, not at all. And then I read it, I was like, oh shit, this is better.
And you know what? I think I'll talk about that for a second.
Sure.
It's not the direction I was going. But this is important too because cities, the important ones, big ones, have city fathers or city mothers. And it's the spiritual personification of that place.
Okay.
Now, if you're running a game around a city, in a city, you should encounter this. Whether to help bolster the city father, to help restore the city father if the father has fallen. Oh, Danny pulled it up. Perfect. I'll read it directly.
Yeah, that's why I did it.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I like that better. Thanks.
Well, you had that saved. Nice.
Fucking bully for you. Thank you. I was very proud. I did it off the cuff. I was proud of it.
That's why I pulled it up. I was like, no, this isn't necessary right now.
But, so what is that? What does that city father look like? How does it act? Because it's the personification of the city. This is what I came up for Detroit. Right? I'm just reading the... the city father of Detroit, for example. He's going to have features of a black man, but he's going to look homeless and overgrown, a long green beard and hair. His skin would be metal, but coated in rust. His fists would be massive, and he'll probably carry a shotgun shaped like a hockey stick, and a warhammer whose head is shaped like a football. His ragged clothing, torn and tattered, but bright whites and reds, blue and silver, adorned with lions and tigers and great red wheels. Even his joints would be mechanical. You could hear pistons and gears when he moves, and when he speaks, you can see the fire glowing from inside, and smoke pours out of his mouth with every word.
Well, that's awesome.
That's what I mean. Like, when I only read the first couple sentences and I pulled up that statue, that's not it.
That is not.
And then I read the rest and I was like, oh shit, that's better.
But I do reference the Fist of Joe Louis.
Fist of Joe Louis.
With the oversized fist he has. You cover the city's undying loyalty and love for the sports teams.
Yep.
Despite how maybe
they all suck.
They're not all very good all the time.
They suck.
We
still love them.
Hey, the Wings, though, man.
They suck now.
Yes, they do.
They're back to the dead Wings.
Yeah.
Whatever.
So we're building. I mean, we went like 25 years hitting the playoffs every year.
We have the record for most in a row or something like that.
You know,
whatever
we're going to be there. We'll see at the playoffs. It's going to happen. Anyway, but you factor in all that. The light. In the back of the throat when it speaks is about how the city refuses to die, even though, are you kidding me?
Right.
It's so bad.
Oh, for sure.
It's where the rust comes from.
Yep.
And, the growth of the hair is grass because of how overgrown so much of it is.
Also used to be the biggest steel importer and all that. Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
So you take all of that together.
No, it was such an awesome description. Like I said,
Father.
As soon as you were mentioning it, I had to pull it up. I saved it for that reason.
That's awesome. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Because we were just talking about shit in the Discord one day, and I'm like,
Right.
well, for example, and boom.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, no shit, that's good.
It's really good.
So you know what? I'm going to throw this one out there. If anyone listeners have something along those lines for, say, your city, send them in.
I'd love to hear that. Because they should
that.
all be different.
Mm-hmm.
Right, yeah. Your city should not be the same as, our city.
Yeah.
That's all. But I would love to hear something like that.
But I mean, every city is different. What does New York City Father look like?
Oh, man.
Tall.
Forget about it.
Tall.
Just like Tony Soprano.
You're very majestic. I'd say he's tall because all the tall buildings.
Sure, okay.
Concrete. Something concrete in there.
So probably concrete skin.
Right. Or steel. Because every building's made of steel and concrete. So
Well, by that note, every...
I know, I'm just...
Yeah, you're spitballing.
Trying.
Maybe concrete skin and a steel suit.
Yeah.
There you go.
I like that. Suits painted yellow for their taxis.
I was going to say...
Checkered.
Oh, checkered. Perfect.
Oh, man, I was going to use a taxi was out of his mouth like a cigar, but...
Well...
Something for immigrants, too, maybe.
It could be money.
Go, like a wad of...
rolled up like a cigar.
Okay.
Get some of that Big Apple imagery, right?
Uh-huh.
And maybe something there. Yeah, maybe something incorporating the Statue of Liberty.
Right,
Maybe
yeah.
the coloring.
Oh, yeah.
And that's it. Maybe that can be enough. Maybe it's not. I mean, maybe it's a city mother.
Right.
Maybe on the other
The Statue
hand.
of Liberty is the city mother.
It could be the basis of it.
Right.
Like maybe like a, oh shit.
Oh, yeah?
World of
That
Darkness.
gleam of his eye.
World of Darkness, right?
Okay.
The city mother is the Statue of Liberty.
Okay.
But like, not in her 20s when she just won the pageant when she's up there in the statue. Like, 20 years later, after she knocked out a couple kids and her husband left her, and now she's been on welfare for 6 months, and that fucking neighbor won't stop it with the music.
I like it. Off the cusp. There we go.
Yeah.
We got something. There's an idea.
I can't get a goddamn cab, but hey, it's alright. It's not like I got a job anymore anyway.
So I never got to hear how you interacted with this glass elemental.
No,
we're going back to the glass elemental.
No,
okay.
good call.
Yeah. We got way off track on that.
We did, but I hope it's all useful
off
shit.
track.
This is, you know what I mean. But off track of that story.
No, we can finish.
I just want to finish that story.
At least we get one story finished in an episode. Are you kidding? No, I spoke it to my recollection, because, this was a billion years ago now. But it was reverence, because, again, when I think about the glass elemental, yeah, I got beer bottles right there, fine. Mm-hmm. But at that point, that's just a container, and that almost becomes about the liquid. Fuck all that. I think about the glass, I think of the mirror.
Vanity in the mirror.
I think of vanity. So I appeal to the vanity. We lay rose peds for when it walks, metaphorically speaking. Mm. We're using our sweetest words, and we're avoiding eye contact, but talking them up. And when I ask, because now remember, I'm asking a glass elemental to shatter all the glass in a fucking high-rise.
It's a big ask.
Yeah, and it seems pretty fucking counterintuitive.
Break yourself.
Yeah. It's not like, no, you're not, no, you misunderstand. You're not breaking yourself. You can't destroy glass. You can only make more of it.
You're fucking shit-eating grin smile right
Instead of one sheet, you are now millions
now. Of tiny pieces.
of pieces that can float upon the wind, and the light will reflect off of you, and everyone will see your splendor. And then you'll come to the ground, and you'll land on the people, and they will carry parts of you with them.
Love it.
And in their bloodstream. Like the glass elemental cares about that, though.
Right. If the glass is even capable of thinking about it. What the fuck is a bloodstream?
He doesn't have blood.
I am the personification of glass. What's a bloodstream?
Good point.
All I hear is there's going to be millions of me, and I'm going to be worshipped, and everyone's going to stare in awe. And then all these people will carry me around in little tiny microscopic bits in their clothing and in their hair and in their eyes and shit. But I don't need to know that part. This sounds amazing.
Consider it a deal.
You're a great friend segment, Rainmaker.
We went a long way around that to get there.
But it's
awesome,
all good. It's all teaching.
Hopefully.
Hopefully. I mean, we're in Theurge school.
All over the place.
A little bit, but I mean, there's a lot to a Theurge.
Yes.
There's a ton to a Theurge. Kind of want to bring up another segment story.
Go ahead.
And
It's a
the
good
reason
Theurge.
the reason for it is how you got this elemental to do what it did.
Oh, you're talking about the sandcastle.
I
So
am.
Yeah, that's another good one.
it's not far off, but go ahead.
So, Segment Rainmaker has a story where he used a sandcastle to kill a Nexus crawler.
And that is the only way to say that.
Yeah.
I mean, there are other ways you could do it, but that's the way you start that story.
You have to start it that way, because then you're just in awe. Like,
Exactly.
what?
Everyone's like, what?
Exactly.
I need to know now.
I've heard this story like 4 times.
I've
and it's
heard
a
it.
little different every time.
Well, I tell it off memory every time.
and I'm not putting you down for it, but it's the reverence that Segment had towards the sand elemental. It's the way he did it, it's why he did it, and how everything unfolded. Which could only really be told and be done by a Theurge.
Yeah. And at this point, I'm tooting my own horn a bit, but a fucking clever one.
Very.
Very.
Yeah, I mean, the pack was running. We got the MacGuffin.
Whatever
Got the
it was.
MacGuffin of the story. Well, I know what it is. She's not important.
Okay.
We get the MacGuffin, and we're running because we're being chased by, like, a hive.
An entire hive.
Just all of the enemies are bearing down on us like crazy. Running on point is a Nexus crawler. We run afoul of this crawler.
Uh-oh.
And it is chasing, and it's not stopping. It's not losing interest. The worm's backing up a bit. They're like, well, we don't want to get too close to this asshole. We know what this is. Oh. And so Segment looks to his pack. You get the mind speak come in. He goes, keep them busy. Keep them here. Keep going. You'll catch up with me. And he pops one of his gifts, and Turbo's fucking ahead. Seemingly just left his pack to die.
Son of a
Speed
bitch.
boom.
And
Gotta go fast.
not only that, but for the rest of the pack to have the trust in him,
Yeah.
it says something too, but
So
besides the point.
He goes up ahead because they're running through the desert. And it'll create element, some water in the sand, and it builds a sandcastle. Quick as he can.
So it's not probably that pretty.
No, I mean, he'd spent an hour on this. He
Yeah.
spent 5 minutes on this.
Just
and
enough.
They were a quick 5 minutes. It's the best we can do before it shows up. He summons the sand spirit again. It's, the need is dire. The drought comes upon us. The great death is facing us. It chases my brothers and I. We need your help. So he convinces this thing. Essentially, he summons a shamal right there in the desert. And it strips because they got this thing in the realm,
As the
to be clear.
non-Theurges, what's a shamal?
It's a sandstorm.
Okay.
That's not a Theurge term.
I don't know.
Okay, no.
I
that's
didn't either.
Oh, no, that's
Okay, at least someone else.
that is a sandstorm. Like the shit you get in Iraq.
Oh, boy.
Yeah. Like
That's legit bad news.
Yeah, it's the real one.
Yeah.
Not that's
Okay.
windy today.
No, that's legit bad news.
Yeah. We're
You can
talking
be
95
buried.
mile an hour winds.
And you can be
Ouch.
buried by sand in minutes.
Yeah.
Eesh.
So he gets it to summon Shamal, because again, we've got the thing chased him into the realm.
That's fucked up, but yes.
Stripped the flesh right off it.
Where does Pack go? I mean, wouldn't they get hit by it?
Yeah. Look, they got word. you do your best.
Duck.
Duck and cover doesn't necessarily hold you in this one, but look, everyone lived. Except for
the crawler.
Say there wasn't some pain along with it. And say everyone got out untouched. I never claimed that. I said I killed a Nexus crawler with a sandcastle, and that is true enough.
True enough.
Wow.
Well, because...
It's all you need.
God, how do you speak to sand? That's what I'm sitting here going, like, how do you speak to sand? I don't even know how to picture sand. It's
coarse. It gets everywhere.
That's just creepy.
It's fucking... Danny knows what I did.
You're killing him. He left the building.
I feel it was an appropriate reference.
That's why I had to go over there.
Course actually might not, joking aside.
That's kind of what I think of it.
Yeah. He's going to be definitely going to be kind of rough to deal with. A little, maybe Archie bunkery.
I was thinking along the lines of like free flowing, but I don't know how you would work that out.
Well, you look at that as a whole, but as an individual grain, and as a collection of those grains, I think coarse, maybe a little severe, might not be out of order.
That's why you're a Theurge and I'm not, because I'm not very good at that.
I don't have a fucking Rolodex here. But again, I use that rule of thumb as I go, well, what is... it adapts to temperature, so you can't say sand's hot. It just absorbs the shit.
Mm-hmm.
It's cold at night, too, so congratulations. But it's dry, it's rough, it is coarse, so that's the foreman, maybe, at your plant.
Ugh.
With the cigar in his mouth. Going, God damn it, Tyson. This had to be done yesterday. Are you that stupid? Are you taking your stupid pills again?
Every day.
Maybe it's that guy.
Fuck you.
Right?
Yeah. Damn it.
He's a rough around the edges kind of guy. I'm speculating. That wasn't what was presented to me in the day, but...
That's how you would probably present it, though.
That's how I would do it, probably.
Okay. Well, I think we touched on that enough. What else we got for Theurge School?
There's a lot for
What else
School.
does Theurge's for 101 basics need to know?
Well, again, talking to spirits, summoning spirits, that's such a massive part of it.
I was going to say, that's probably the biggest part.
There are also rites, but I want to save rites for our next one.
Okay.
And I think I want that to be the main focus of the next Theurge part.
Are we doing these in 2 parts then?
Oh, I don't know, but we're doing more than one.
Okay.
We're talking...
Theurge is definitely getting more than one.
Yeah.
It's the biggest one.
Yeah, there's a lot to cover with Theurges, so we're going to talk about it until we're done talking about it. And I think rites...
That could be a whole episode.
Exactly. That's a next time thing. I don't want to...
Oh, we did a right episode. We called it The Right Stuff. Come on.
Of course we did. Of course we did.
It's a good name.
Right?
What's wrong with that? That was a good name.
There's nothing wrong with it. It was just, what the hell, you idiots?
I'm not sorry. Tom, you sorry?
I don't think Tom was part of that episode.
Doesn't matter.
I wasn't. That's why when you said we did a rights episode, I'm like, we did?
Thanks for listening to the podcast.
Well, we've talked about spirits too, so look.
Right.
Yeah, spirits,
This
not
isn't...
ghosts.
We do this every
We
week.
talked about fetishes and talons and that's still thirst stuff.
Yeah, we're going to talk more about all that stuff.
This is what we do.
So a lot of aspects to cover, and it's a weekly show. So look, buddy, you're going to hear shit again.
So, maybe something we haven't heard before? What about Banes? Aren't Banes also spirits?
They absolutely are. In fact, that's... The Bane is a catch-all term for a worm spirit. So you can deal with Banes. You can speak to Banes. Spirit speech, it's not just Gaians. It's not just friends. It's important to point out, or to remind you, I think sometimes people forget, is if you go into the Umbra and you kill, like, a scrag, okay? You didn't kill the scrag.
It's... What's the word?
It dissipates.
Dissipates and
And
then...
it reforms back in Malphus.
Yeah.
Melfius, there we go. That's what I was looking for.
See, you didn't... You got it for now. It respawns.
That's a neat gift.
Right? However...
Well, how do you permanently get rid of that pill?
Well, the same way you permanently get rid of any spirit is you drain all of its gnosis.
Ah.
The thing about that is worm creatures...
Have bad gnosis. Bad touch.
Basically, yeah.
Bad touch gnosis.
Yeah, it's basically it. Is
so taking
they have been corrupted by the worm. That gnosis it's grossus.
Grossus. There we go.
It's been corrupted.
Taking that gnosis could essentially corrupt you as
well.
well.
It absolutely does.
Yeah, I was about to say that will.
You took the bad acid. Now it's inside you.
Gross.
That's not how acid works. That's not how any of acid works.
No, I don't think so.
I hope not.
Oh boy.
What did you do?
So at that point, I mean, you want to... I mean, that's a rite of cleansing, or a trip to Erebus, or a just bleeding out that gnosis. But...
I mean, is there not a way you can pull the gnosis out of him without taking it in?
It's got to go somewhere.
That's fair.
That's the deal.
If you have a containner for it or something, I don't know.
Like a cup?
Like a Mountain Dew
Mountain Dew bottle.
There's a callback.
That's nice. That's you're welcome, patrons. Code Red, man.
Oh boy.
Yes. Perfect.
But there you go. You know, and that's an aspect of them too. Is, you know, you can drain that gnosis, take that into yourself, and actually get rid of the spirit. That will take a toll on the Theurge.
I was gonna say that's gotta be.
It's dangerous business.
Okay.
It's some Bane Tender shit.
Ooh.
That's the level we want to put that on. That's some Bane Tender shit. But
That's nuts.
But there you go. Not to mention the fact that, again, spirit speech is all spirits. There's nothing stopping you necessarily from summoning a Bane and interrogating it. Or, you know, or you're an emergency and he's taking gnosis from it. Again, or theoretically binding it into a fetish. I mean, the worm has fetishes too, man.
I mean, I can see it.
I don't do that. Like, as a Gaian, don't do that.
I was gonna say, are there benefits to doing that with worm spirits, though?
Not, I would say not really, but
I know there's probably a lot of problems there. Like, you'd probably take a gnosis hit, and you would be slowly corrupted, probably.
Probably a renowned hit, but then it's all theoretical. So, what kind of spirit are we talking about? And
I get it. We just said Banes, which is just
it's a catch-all.
Worm spirit, but
which is something to keep in mind too. That Bane is that catch-all term. So, is a Theurge that's not good enough? A Bane is a meat puppet. Or a psychomancy.
Or a yeah.
Oh, that's a huge difference.
That's my point. There's Banes over there. That doesn't mean anything.
Could be Thunderworms over there, I mean.
Well, I mean, Thunderworm's a physical creature. But I get what you're saying. I'm with you there.
Sorry.
No, that's cool.
So saying it to anybody else may be fine, but saying it to a Theurge should be like, okay, and?
Well, it would be like driving up to the mechanic and going, my doohickeys out of wax-its.
I often say that.
I know you do. That's why I used it.
I'm his mechanic.
I know. That's why I said it too.
I was waiting for it.
Yeah, I think my doohickey's busted. Fuck off.
That's when I tell him he needs blinker fluid.
But you get what I'm saying.
You bring me the blinker fluid, I'll bring you the aluminum magnet.
You get what I'm saying, though. We're you know, you fucking creeps.
It's a joke. We used to do it. We used to work together.
I know. It's like the keys to the copier.
Nice one.
That's a good one.
Thank you.
Before we get too waylaid, what were you saying?
Yes. But it's like that. It's like saying, hey, I think the doohickey's busted. Like, it's aggressively not enough information if you want me to do something about this. You've said nothing. Banes. Oh, man.
So do your fucking homework.
Well, the Theurges have, theoretically.
Or should be doing.
Yes, should be doing. So, I mean, you talk about what about Banes, it's something they should definitely know about. They should know the difference between a meat puppet. I mean, anyone should know the difference between a meat puppet and a fucking psychomancy. But there's a Smogling. There's a Crimson Pestilent. I know what that does because I'm a Theurge and that's a spirit. It's my fucking job.
Whereas the rest of us, it's like, that's Worm. Oh, we needed to defeat.
Right. How are you going to do that? You can't touch that one.
You learn from the Theurge and what you need to do.
Yeah. If that touches you, your soul falls out.
Well,
What's your plan, asshole? You gonna shoot it? You're in the Umbra, you idiot. The bullet's lead. What's gonna happen? It'll sail right through it.
I'm gonna ask another spirit to help me out.
I'd grab that Bane arrow, personally.
Well, true, but
not everyone has the luxury. You get what I'm saying?
Yes.
You know, there's a level of Monster Man. You've got to be Monster Manuel, even. You've got to know...
Gotta be the Rambo of spirits.
You got to know your shit. The difference...
Hence the books we're recommending, too. If you're gonna play a Theurge, those are some key books.
It's not always easy. Anyone can be a Theurge. Okay. Anyone can be a Theurge. It takes no extra effort and no extra skill to be a shitty Theurge.
Okay.
That's
a better way of putting it.
You can choose to be a shitty Theurge. That can even be a thing.
Don't be a shitty Theurge.
No, that could even be a thing.
That could be a thing,
the
and you could
growth
make that,
into the growth into taking it seriously and learning the role. That could be a thing. Just to half-ass it doesn't take any effort.
That's true. I mean, that goes for almost all the auspices.
It does. It does. But to play it at its most, it does take a lot of work and research to be a Theurge.
It really does.
You have to be diplomatic and clever. You have to...
On different levels.
Yes. You should have a pretty decent memory or some good notes. That's fine too. But you should know the difference between what you're looking at here versus over here. And I mean, right now we're just talking about the spirit aspect. There will be other episodes. We're going to talk about rights and the relationship to the nation and in your pack and to the spirits with those rights. We're going to talk about umbral navigation. You get this shit too.
there's a lot to it. That's the problem with doing Theurge. But there's too much.
Well, I don't know that there is, but I mean, yes.
Too much to focus on at one time.
No, absolutely.
That's why I like that learn as you go kind of. Research as you go, not just learn in game. Research as you go, so the character grows with you.
Right.
And that would actually be really neat to do.
And if you're going to do that, make sure you talk with your storyteller. And as a storyteller, make sure you have certain examples of things, specific things that they can learn.
Because that's kind of the route I was thinking to take when I make a Theurge. I want to learn as I go, but I want to research as I go.
Right, and this will turn some of that research into usable knowledge in game. Mm-hmm. I could tell you the story about the encounter you had with this hummingbird spirit and how Jonas Mystic Eyes took you aside and said, you are going to deal with this hummingbird spirit until you befriend it. And that's all you're going to do with your day until you can make that spirit like you.
It's a good way of teaching.
Yep, that's it. You hungry? That sucks. Where's the hummingbird? We went over there. What are you doing here?
Do you have an idea how you do that yet?
What, talk to a hummingbird spirit?
Sure.
Let's see, they're fast, so try to get the words out quick.
Yeah, like that.
Well, yeah.
Offer it, obviously, some type of nectar or a flower.
Just have one with you at all times?
Something.
Yeah.
Every time I want to talk to it, have a flower.
I would just have it like on your shoulder.
Yeah.
I would just have it there.
Quick, to the point.
No, but he's got to be your friend, not just do stuff for him.
Quick, to the point. See if he needs anything. Blah, blah, blah. Help him out. I'll do this thing for you. That's it. I ask for nothing in return.
I like that.
And then just, do the thing. Come back. Need another thing done. Just keep doing it.
Eventually he'll do something for you. You've done all these things for me. Now I can do this for you.
Or it won't remember him at all between encounters.
That's true. Because, they're little birds.
With tiny little brains.
Yes, so maybe, and I'm not saying for sure, but maybe it won't remember him between the encounters. However, the purpose of the test was not to actually get him to befriend a hummingbird, but to get him used to how to deal with something like this.
And then maybe once the hummingbird, now he moves on to maybe a little bit more higher of a spirit in the same thing.
Or something, yeah, Umber 20, has a great section in it dealing with 3 separate spirits through the perception of the spirit and the Garu doing the summoning.
It's like one paragraph's through the spirit, the other paragraph's through the Garu?
Yeah, like the first one is there's a glasswalker summoning a cockroach spirit. Not capital cockroach, a cockroach.
A cockroach.
Yeah. And describes this is how this is how things look, this is how things feel. Everything from their perspective. And then, it's two paragraphs or so, and then the next 2 paragraphs is the same interaction from the cockroach's perspective. And I don't think, and there's 3 examples, and I do not think there's a better printed anywhere.
Huh.
I don't want to say tutorial, but example of how this can work. And I mean, the second example, I don't remember what it's a spirit of specifically, but it doesn't have a memory.
Oh, so that's why you bring up maybe that hummingbird doesn't remember you. Got it.
If I recall, it's the spirit's perspective first, and it's a really jarring, awkward encounter. And then you go to the Garu perspective, and it's like, all right, well, remember, Dave, he's not going to know you. We've worked with him hundreds of times. Yeah, and he's not going to know you, because he hasn't the other 98. It doesn't have a memory. It only understands the concept of now.
That would be rough to deal with.
Right? Especially if you consider that spirit an old friend.
Yeah, because if they don't remember
you, what do they consider? They don't consider you anything.
Right.
Anything at all, yeah. Just reminds me of that movie.
You're just a Garu to him. I mean,
that movie, it was a 51st Dates or something like that.
Sure.
She loses her memory every single day.
Well, I think that was because of the trauma of having to date Adam Sandler.
Probably. But there's another guy in there. They call him 5 Second Tom.
Don't look at me.
He loses his memory every 5 seconds.
Oh, Tom's called that for a different reason.
Oh!
Like a goldfish?
Hey-oh.
He's just ignoring it, and I do not blame the man.
We're doing a podcast here.
Just a little professionalism.
Yeah, over there.
Hey, it's also a jokey joke show. It's fun.
That's the proper terminology.
It is now.
All right.
Or at least has been. All right. Well, then, how about, because obviously there's a lot to talk about with Theurge, but what about, like, the Theurge's role in an entire pack, not just on his own?
There's a level of that that's right there on the page for you. The idea of the shaman, the healer. You have Mother's Touch.
Uh-huh.
Which
you should.
Well, that's the great rub when rolling a Theurge. This kind of irritates me. Is because there's Mother's Touch and there's Spirit Speech.
Which are both absolutely necessary for a Theurge to have.
Well, you have to have those.
So I hope you bought both of those.
Right, like it's making you spend freebie points on the other one. And that bugs me. Because
it should just be an automatic given.
I feel like Spirit Speech should be an automatic.
Yeah, that's just an automatic. You get that. No cost.
Just for the Theurge, because...
Come on.
You can't have a Theurge that can't speak to spirits. What are you doing?
I mean, if you roll that, that'd be interesting.
That'd be irritating.
It'd be very irritating, but it'd be interesting.
A lot of extra work.
Right? Because, again, that Theurge is also the pack's liaison to the spirit realm.
To the entire realm, not just spirits.
Right. The entire realm.
Uh-huh.
The navigation. Who do you want leading the point on a moon path?
Oh, the Theurge.
Yeah. Who's going to be able to stomach dealing with the fucking loons? Who's going to stop you halfway through and ask you a riddle before it lets you move on? Because, hey, fuck it. There's a new moon out. We're just going to be like that today.
Yeah, probably.
Oh, good luck seeing the path, too. I mean, new moon, you can't see it.
Right. So who are you going to trust to take the lead?
Someone that can deal with it.
Right. Where you learn your gifts from spirits. You need someone who can help facilitate that.
Yeah, they have to be the facilitator, the liaison, if you will.
Yeah, we go back to talons and fetishes.
Yeah, they're the ones that are making your talons, your fetishes.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they might not make it.
They don't make the physical object. They're the ones that are imbuing them with the spirit.
Okay, that is better. Yes.
Which is what makes them the fetish of the talon. Yeah. Otherwise, that's a nice stick you have there.
It's a nice pointy stick you have.
That's weird that you did the helicopter blade, you creep.
I'm telling you got to put a freaking flying spirit in that.
No. Try to fly away, huh?
That would be kind of funny.
It would be.
No.
But it would be very useful.
I don't know that it would.
No. No.
It's Jaeger, the Flying Veil Breach. Because, he's got to be in Krynos to be able to swing that thing around enough to make it fly.
It's fair.
I don't think so at all.
It lets you fly in the Umbra.
So does Owl.
Well, we don't have Owl.
No, we don't.
Get some Red Bull.
I don't want to.
Believe hard enough. Go to the celestial realm. The ethereal realm. What am I talking about? Go to the ethereal realm.
That would be interesting to play, too. Trying to talk to a celestial. Your storyteller writes it in where there's a celestial coming about.
I couldn't...
That'd be scary.
That would be.
Yeah, it would be.
Yeah, what do you do?
One more than others.
Aunt Luna. Aunt Luna, she's coming down on you.
And I mean, you can. I mean, she is. She's in the ethereal realm. You can go talk to Aunt Luna. You can talk to... But I mean, that's the ethereal realm, and that's a different show. But you could talk to Planetary Incarna, for crying out loud.
That would be nuts.
What do you want to say to Mars?
Anything about war?
I see what you did there.
Aha! Fight, go.
I was going to say I come in peace.
I was going to say something about candy.
Well, there you go, Mars bars.
I wasn't, but I thought we'd get the...
Yeah, you got to get the trifecta there.
Yeah, you got to get the hat trick.
So anything else with, the pack?
Well... we cover the spiritual liaison, the Umbra liaison, the healer, and there's spiritual leader at that. That's a thing sometimes we forget or we gloss over, right? Is that, our rage-worshipping murder cult
is still spiritual creatures.
Yeah, they're I would go so far as to say religious zealots. Think about this, is that no human institution or religion likes to hear that they're wrong.
Right. No, I know what you're saying.
Like any of them.
No, of course not.
A group could come up tomorrow to go, we are all lizard people that were birthed by Leonardo da Vinci in 1986.
impressive, but
And someone could go, that's crazy,
and they'll get
and
mad
that's
at
a
you.
problem,
Yeah.
right? But Garu go to the Umbra, and they do talk to the spirits.
So in this
They
fiction game,
theoretically
we know
can speak with an avatar of... Don't try, please. But you theoretically could.
So at that point in this fictional game, they absolutely know that every other of those religions is wrong.
That's not even where I'm going, because then you get into debates.
Okay, yeah.
Of spiritual correspondence and the importance of the nation, and when did that... What is this particular religious figure?
Good point.
When would it have come about? What level would it be? And it's a whole
Another can of
other
worms.
uncanon that's kind of unnecessary.
Good point, yeah.
But what I mean is, they know the religion is real. It's
Okay.
not a belief, it's a fact.
Gotcha.
Your ancestor spirits are factually there because you're talking to them right the fuck now. Spirits aren't real? Boom, fire spirit. I'm gonna awaken this tree.
But
I'll show you, asshole. You know what I mean? So, these aren't just tools.
No, these are necessities.
Well, sure, but they're living creatures, and they're to be revered. There's this pact of we will protect you and you will help us defeat our enemies.
Can't
You
do
know-
that without the Theurge.
Fenris isn't a fun owl, okay?
Uh-huh.
Isn't a badass who can let you fly in the Umbra. Owl is a god. So yeah, they're also spiritual leaders. Coyote's not just your fun buddy who fucks with you every now and then. I remind you that you guys, your characters, in your sept, each have a shrine to him.
Yeah.
To pray to him. That's religion, motherfucker. Not...
In this fictitious world, right.
I'm not... Yeah. Yes. Like, we're not even going there with, but...
Right, but we're not
It's a
putting
thing.
any one down or the other. We're not even here to talk about it, but...
Yeah, we're not... Yeah, we're aggressively not talking about that, but we're talking about it as all things in the realm in terms of werewolf, in terms of your characters. So yeah, there's just also a spiritual leader, man. I don't want to say full-on a preacher, because there's not Sunday service. But it's there.
Sure is.
You think about Whiplash's blood sacrifices to Boar.
Uh-huh.
What if Boar gets mad at him?
Oh, I don't know.
I have no
What
idea.
if Coyote gets pissed at you guys? How do you make that right? Who do you consult?
The Theurge,
Yeah, what's the episode about? Hey,
Yeah. We need help.
Please?
We need help.
Or you just do his boon really, really a lot.
Gotta appease.
that won't work
No.
because, again, like a god, not like a video game mechanic, like a Tamagotchi. There you go. Where you just hit the feed button and he goes, "Oh, I love you again."
If only it were that easy.
Right?
The Theurge know where that feed button is, though.
They know where the feed button is, but they know better to press it more than twice. Maybe once, depends on the thing.
Right.
The Theurge would go, that drawing you did in the paper plate was cute and all, but he did ask you to do something.
Yeah.
So maybe
Inside.
have your nephew make the crayon pictures,
Hey, now, come on
and
now.
you do
I
the
know I'm
thing
not
your
a good
fucking
artist.
god told you to do.
I'm working on that.
I hope so.
Well, inside to our games there, Jesus.
Not super inside though.
No.
It was inside to a point.
Right. Just a little bit. So, I mean, it's... If we're saving some of the other major stuff, because all of it's major with Theurges,
Right.
we're
and
saving some of the stuff for the later episodes.
it just feels wrong to jump into rights and then end the episode in 5 minutes.
Right,
Or
yeah.
to jump into dealing with totems and then go, "Oh, we just started this shit. Bye.
See ya. Yeah. What the...
Do you want to eat the steak? I just thought you wanted to smell it. I was going to throw it out."
Oh, that's mean.
Right?
So, come back to school for another class session here.
Yep.
There'll be a bunch of these.
Oh, yeah.
There's
Yeah,
probably
like
going to be
the,
more of the Theurge ones than anything, so...
Probably, but the idea of logistically going down to what it means to play that auspice, whichever it might be.
It's a bigger deal.
Yeah.
Bigger
It's that
deal than
deeper
our
dive shit that
overview.
we have been talking about for season 2. We did our overviews.
Yep.
Sometimes we did series. and
You got the book reviews.
Yeah,
Now let's play one of these.
there you go.
Cool.
I think that's about our time.
That's... Yep, close enough.
Thank you for indulging us. On behalf of Tom, Danny, myself, I want to thank you so much for listening, so much for your support. You know the ways you can help us, and your help really is just super important. But until next week, thanks again. We will talk to you later. Make sure you take care of yourselves, take care of each other, keep on howling, and we will see you next time. Take it easy.